I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on the no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube, leave a comment, hit that bell icon, give us a thumbs up. That way, if you hit that bell icon, you can subscribe to the show. You'll be notified when we drop a new episode. Go to our Instagram, click the link in our bio. You can buy merchandise, get you some Man Listen gear, and just tell everybody about the show. Oh, also, you can go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com, and listen to past episodes. Tell a friend about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Marv B. Let's bring the crew in. All right. This me and Erika today. You got y'all stuck with the talkative ones. What's up with you, sis?
Nothing. I'm good.
Yeah, it's tough when you go live on Facebook because like as soon as you click it, it's like, well, damn, it's gonna wait till I say yes, right? But then like as soon as you click it, like it's on. So I don't know. I hope y'all can see us. I don't see anything, but you still see us, Erika? Okay, all right. If people leave a comment, make sure you read it. All right. So Erika.
Yeah.
Montgomery, Alabama, August 5th. There's so many names for this. They call it my favorite one was they call it a Cinco de Negro. Cinco de Negro, the Alabama Sweet Tea Party, the Riverboat Rumble. It's been all over social media. It started Sunday. This incident happened on August 5th, last Saturday. But it's been all over social media since Sunday and carrying over to today. Because Black social media, Black Twitter, Black Instagram, they don't take nothing seriously. So the memes have just been all over social media and they've been hilarious. But in Montgomery, Alabama, there was a riverboat docking area where some members of the Mayonnaise militia had parked their pontoon boat on the dock. And apparently this riverboat that's run by the city was trying to dock so people could get off the boat and other people can get on, right? So it was a Black security guard who was trying to tell them, hey, listen, y'all need to move your pontoon. And these Mayo Sapiens didn't think that the rules applied to them. So what did he do? He untied it and he, basically pulled the boat. It's in the water, so you can kind of pull it and direct it. So he pulled it forward so that the riverboat could park or dock. So they didn't like this and they confronted him, right? So there was it was words that went back and forth between them. And then next thing you know, blows started to be exchanged between the Black security guard and one of these white boys. And then next thing you know, they started jumping him. So the Black people on the boat, now this happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Those who don't know, I can't imagine our listeners not knowing. Alabama's got a pretty significant Black population. And there was a lot of Black people on this boat that was waiting to dock. So when they saw this happening, the brothers and sisters went into action. One young brother in particular, because they couldn't get to the dock, he jumped off the boat and swam to help his crew member. Because like this ended up into a big old melee, and a lot of the people that were a part of it were the crew members, because the dude that was trying to move the boat was a fellow crew member. And once everybody got off the boat, in between the crew members and the locals, and they commenced to putting it on the white folks. So 2 people got arrested. I think they said 7 people got arrested, and there's like 3 active warrants that they're still looking for individuals who were involved with this. But it's brought a tear to my eye seeing the solidarity and seeing the unity, especially in Montgomery, Alabama, since we know the history of Alabama, in particular in the South, the Montgomery bus boycott, and to see brothers and sisters standing up for one another. I was just amazed to see this. But Rick, when you saw it, what'd you think?
Boy, pure joy.
Yeah.
Pure joy. I can't watch it enough. Every time I watch it, I see something new.
Right.
Like when I shared it with y'all, and y'all started talking about the chair, and I was like, how did I miss the chair? I had to go back and watch it 2 more times.
Yeah.
I loved it. Man, I don't know what I was looking at. Because for me, when I first saw the video, I was like, oh, here we go, Alabama. But then when they first approached him, there was a random man up like 2 rows who was the first to start running down. I was like, I don't know how far he had to go to get down there, but he took off running. I was like, see, I like that energy. Then that boat docked.
Listen.
And that tide turned, and I was just like, look at the ancestors.
Yeah. Well, see, the first dude, he went down, and I guess he didn't really come with that, that heat. Now that young brother, they call him Aquaman, MAYNE. That young brother who swam over there, to be young again. Because not only did this dude swim, he swam a good distance. He swam to the fight. And then when the fight commenced, he was putting in work.
Man.
He was putting in work.
Impressive. Listen, they said they knew it was on and popping when those black folks started skipping off that boat. You knew it wasn't gonna be no questions.
Right.
I know what he asked him when he got to that boat. It probably really wasn't a question. He's probably like, you thought you was gonna get that off, huh? He was like, what?
Right. So, and different angles of the melee keep getting released because different people who were on social media or what have you, and they were they were putting it out. So like you see different angles of the man who was swinging that chair. You see different angles. I saw one where as soon as the boat came on, the crew members that were putting in work, you could see them jumping off to go aid their homeboy. So it was a sight to see. It was a sight to see. Now, as an attorney, what type of charge do you see these people getting off of this Malay? And now I know the dude with the chair, he gonna really have to deal with some serious stuff. But the other folks, when it's just a brawl, isn't that just like, depending on the state, like simple assault or assault and battery?
Depending on the state is where I would start my commentary. Alabama, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For all we know, them pontoon people, what'd you call them? The mayonnaise militia. they might have some judges and stuff.
Yeah.
In the right places or whatever. But I mean, if I were the one making the decisions as a prosecutor, I'd be like, I mean, that's a wash right there. You don't get to jump somebody and then somebody comes to his defense, because there's defense of self and then there's defense of others. The fact that man was an older gentleman and y'all decided to like 5-on-1 that man. Now, true, it turned into a brawl, but that was in defense of not just a man, I would argue an elderly man.
Yes.
You could have done serious harm to, and we don't know that they didn't. So the aftermath of what they did and then being in defense of that person, no one started that fight but the pontoon people. So there was no altercation until they not only decided to 1-on-1 fight an old man, but then 5-on-1 fight an old man because he was doing his job. So, I mean, if I was the prosecutor, that's how I would look at it. As a defense attorney, of course, I'm going defense of others, especially his coworkers. That's defensive, someone that you're close to. So it's like, him. Everybody else is more or less like, I'm in defense of Black people, and that's an argument I'm here for all day, every day. But that's gonna be less persuasive.
And I'm hoping that there's some young dynamic Black attorney that's in Montgomery that takes the case for those brothers and sisters that rode for that elderly brother, and if nothing else, get it pleaded down or try to get it thrown out or whatever, so there's nothing like serious to happen. Because like the police were there, And I mean, when you watch it though, there was like security that was there was police that was there, and it was some of the black security and police that was like, I ain't in that. Y'all go ahead and handle y'all business. And salute to y'all. Now the ones who jumped in, I guess you're doing your job or whatever. So they were spraying mace on folks. I didn't like to see the brothers, you know, the brother and the sister arresting the dude with the chair. I know they got to do their job, but it just the optics of it, I didn't care for.
Yes, but I mean, at the same time, somebody's got to be in there to stop. That we can't just let it go on until it stops, because it may never stop. So, I mean, on the one hand, I'm very happy that it went the way it went. When I saw dude was beat out of his Crocs, I cried.
I don't think that was part of that incident though. I think people sharing that. I think that was part of a different incident.
But either way, I feel like, you know, it just, the whole way we just rallied together to protect someone I'm in support of. I think that I'm not criticizing the police officers for breaking it up, because you can't just let a brawl go on your beat, because that's crazy too. That's like if a fight break out in the office, you're gonna wait till the person that deserved to get a few, but then you got to be like, all right, now you you know what I mean? You can't just sit by and watch you put somebody in the hospital. they got the point. And now you got to move along. So, but yeah, and then mace is the easiest way to break up a crowd. My thing is, I'm thinking it's going to be real difficult to say who did what. Like, you might try to match me to the video, but the video footage I've seen is blurry. And then you don't know who, like, where is this video footage coming from? Like, you can't obtain the original footage from the person.
Well, hold on now. Now we know that the police and these social media companies, they're in cahoots with one another. We didn't see the rappers. They try to delete they Snapchat messages and this, that, and the other, and then all that stuff that can be subpoenaed. So, you know, that I think that they could get that. My to me, outside of the white folks, because they stood out. They even located their business, and they've been going hard in the paint on it, giving them 1 star, talking about this a racial ambiance and all that, to the point where I think it was Yelp. That they were on, where they said, listen, this account is getting a whole lot of attention, so we're going to cut off comments, because they can recognize when people are trying to really go after somebody. Funny how they do that for the white folks, but I don't see them doing it for black people when stuff like that happens. But anyway, I think the only person that you could really, really recognize outside of, you know, there was the dudes that had on their fraternity shirts. I ain't gonna call out the fraternity because I don't want to help them get recognized. And then the young brother Aquaman, apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, his Cash App was put out there. I didn't get his Cash App, or I'd have sent him some dough too. But apparently he got so much money that Cash App said, "Nah, you can't send no more bread." So then his mother put out a letter, and what I didn't like about what the sister did, she said, if y'all want to do anything, you know, send some funds, send it to this address. I'm hoping that that's not their address that she actually put on there, but it looks like it may be their address. Because the problem is this: white folks don't take L's like that.
No, not laying down anyway.
Not laying down. And we can go, and on a serious note, we can go all the way back to Ferguson in St. Louis, and we can look at all the people who were involved in the riots in St. Louis. The brother who picked up the tear gas can, threw it back at the police, Darren Seals, several other people who were involved. After a year or two or so, they all mysteriously died. Oh, he killed himself. This dude
with no investigation.
Right. This dude wasn't suicidal. All of a sudden, he killed himself. You know, all of them gone. So I just hope that we really, while we're praising them for standing together and being unified in the solidarity, we got to really watch out for them. We got to protect them. And I hope the people in Montgomery, Alabama recognize that all right, this ain't over. Like, I come from a small town, top city. You know what I'm saying? You get off like that, you best be prepared that there may be repercussions. And you in Montgomery, the stuff that we watch documentaries on, Eyes on the Prize, on how wicked and
corrupt
the white folks could be. in that area. You know what I'm saying? So you better keep your head on the swivel, brothers and sisters. I'm still proud of you, though.
I know you're feeling the show, but picture your ad right here. If you want to advertise with us, hit up the link in our bio and we'll get you on the show.
I would say two things. One, I did see an attorney who was offering free legal services, and she said she hadn't been able to find anybody who was in jail and needed bail or anything like that, but she said she was basically keeping an eye on it. And then two, I'm hoping since they hired a publicist to put that out, that that's the publicist's address and not their address.
That makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
I'm hoping.
That makes sense. Hopefully a publicist is smarter than that.
Yeah, because they were really trying to shield that young man from being posted out on social media in the first place, which they out here trying to identify people. I don't know why y'all out here posting his whole face and everything.
Ain't that way. This dude, not only did he swam to the fight, he was putting in work. I saw one where he picked dude up and gave him the rock bottom. He picked him up, slammed him, and like he was, yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen enough footage. I don't have all these details you have because I ain't seen no fraternity shirts. I ain't seen no body slam. That's all I say. I can't watch enough.
There's so many different. So like the views keep coming out. So it's the people who were further down by the pontoon boat. There's the people who were further to where the boat was at, and the boat was called Harriet. The people that was closer to the boat, and then there was another angle. And the one that killed me was the one girl. She had the best commentary because she was watching. She said, "Yeah, I was wrong for that." And then when the two white boys tried to come from behind, and the brothers clicked up on us, about 4 or 5 of them, and they started hitting them, and she was like, "Boop ah, boop boop ah." Her little commentary just set it off for me, for real. But yeah,
I love us.
So let me ask you about this. So a lot of people have been saying this, and we went from being unified to arguing again. People were saying we are not our ancestors. Now, I used to say that back in the day, and then some people pointed out how, y'all, number one, that's kind of that is disrespectful to our ancestors, because we had ancestors that did fight.
A lot.
Deacons of defense. Hell, my grandfather, I ain't gonna go into the details on this show. My grandfather, the reason why we left Louisiana and ended up in Kansas was because my grandfather said, "Hell no, I'm not taking all that." Him and his cousin. So how do we get people to recognize that that's disrespectful to our ancestors and it's not true?
Man, this show, things like this, platforms like this, right. We got to always be like very intentional about the information that we put out, and not just the information that we put out, but the conversation around that information. Because one thing that a lot of people will do is they'll just share some stuff, and then misinformation can flow from that. But when you actually have people who have taken the time to study about a topic, and then it's like, even us, when we don't know 100% about a topic, we'll bring somebody on the show and let them be the lead, and we listen to them and learn from them. Right, I think that the more we do that as a people, the more we have conversations, because one of the things that we don't like to do is let somebody get us together when we're wrong. We got to stop that. So if I'm wrong, get me together. Right. So like you said, back in the day, when people used to be like, you'll catch these hands, we aren't our ancestors, mad disrespectful. I wouldn't like, I hate looking at 2010 Arika on Facebook. I hate her.
I thought it was just me. So like, I hate the memories section on Facebook because like, I love and hate it because like I post like pictures of my kids, throughout the time, throughout the years, and then like I'll see one, I'll like screenshot it and send it to the family group chat, and they all like, oh. But then when I look at some of the stuff I used to say back then, that is cringe worthy. To
like the 10th degree. I feel like every other day I was on there with my emotions, talking about some personal stuff and going in about what I'm doing, talking crazy about people. Like, bruh, sit down.
That's kind of what you do, and kind of what I did too. So here's what it is. It's 2023 healed Arika and Marv, looking at 2013, 20 whatever.
Savage,
hurt, traumatized, whatever, Marv and Arika. So you look back at it, you're like, ugh. But you know what? Here's the thing about it. It's me. It's me. It's you.
Mhm.
We're authentic. And the thing that I really appreciate about you and I appreciate about myself is I put it out there. I feel like I lead by example. And if whatever I'm going through, maybe somebody can be like, listen, Demar made it, I can make it through. And then the other thing too is you can't use nothing that I've done or mistakes I've made against me to hurt me. Because guess what? I already talked about it. I ain't like most people. I ain't like most people who want to just, be like, oh, I just don't want to talk about it, whatever. And maybe that's that oversharing. And there's some flaws in the oversharing, right? There is, right? There's some flaws in being an overshare. But as long as you have a balance to it, I think we're okay. But anyway, so everybody was elated to see this happen. And I saw a few handkerchief head Negroes talking about, oh, well, it's all good until you get a case. And he shouldn't have touched their boat. He should have called the police. Like, Negro, if you don't, I ain't gonna do it. But like, Negro, if you don't shut up, you know where I want to go with it. But I
know
I want to go, but I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna say it. But most disappointing. And I don't know why I'm disappointed, but it's always disappointing when you see one of our celebrities sell out like this. The boy Marlon Wayans. Did you see him?
I did.
So this dude, so there's this song by this racist white boy named Jason Aldean. It's talking about tried in a small town. So everything about this tried in a small town, like the video that he put out, like they filmed the video like in front of a courthouse where a black man was lynched, and the whole narrative about this song is about, how come to a small town and us as white folks going to show you that what you do in the city, you can't do here. And it's one big racist dog whistle. And white folks have been playing it. I think I heard that it was like #1 on the Billboard, or it's pretty high on the Billboard, maybe country Billboard. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
That sounds about white.
That sounds about white. But so this dude, Marlon Wayans, plays part of the video that's been shared on social media, right? But he only plays the portion where it shows the brothers getting revenge, where the brothers are coming to avenge the old man that was attacked. So when you only splice it to that portion, it looks like they're the aggressors. Not doing
the elderly man being attacked by 5 white people.
It doesn't look like it's self-defense. It looks like they're just being aggressors, right? And in the background, they're playing that song, Tried in a Small Town. Here come Marlon Wayans talking about how about love or some shit like that. And people were clowning him and people were going hard in the paint because not too long ago, Marlon Wayans was on social media talking about how he was targeted by United Airlines because he couldn't bring his bags on the first class, and he was gonna go do all this and wanted people to boycott United Airlines. When United Airlines came out, it was like, no, bro, listen, you had too many bags, and all we asked you to do was gate check it. You didn't want to gate check it, so you want to try to start a movement because you inconvenienced flying in first class,
right?
But then try to tell people that we need to be about love, try love. Man, if you don't shut up, man. I didn't really watch a whole bunch of Marlon Wayans stuff anyway. I'm more of a fan of Damon and Keenan. I have watched some of Marlon stuff, not the older stuff like White Girls, stuff like that, but anything going forward, man, he can miss me for real.
I was disappointed too because I saw him in stand-up when he came here to the Helium because I love going to see live comedians here, and I thought he was funny, but he can miss me. He seemed a little like he still maybe trauma Marlon, so maybe he got some growing to do, and maybe we can have a conversation when he get through growing, because he had a whole little section about Damon hurting his little feelings. So
Damon hurt his feelings. What Damon do?
Him and Damon don't get along. From what I got from his stand-up, he did like 15 minutes on Damon.
Really?
Easy 15 minutes. Like he was just like, well, he's just an asshole. But he said it like he meant it, not like he was being funny. We was like,
I mean, but was it comedy or was it like?
Sounded like commentary.
Did it sound like?
I mean, it just sounded like that's how he really feel. I mean, but it's what, a gang of them. They can't all be close.
And right, because I got 3 brothers, and we all love one another, but we're not tight, close.
Kumbaya.
Right,
Yeah,
right. If we need one another, it's on.
yeah.
It's gonna be
Folding chairs.
it's gonna be the folding chair, right? you mess with my brother, but we ain't got to necessarily get along or see eye to eye on everything or be around each other all the time.
Hang out and
Yeah, yeah, we can love each other from a distance, but
yeah.
that sounds like that big brother, little brother stuff, which I'm the youngest brother, so I get it. I don't know if I'd make a whole comedy skit about it.
Not 15 minutes of like an hour and a half special for sure.
And it sounds like there's probably a little bit of envy there too, because Damon is clearly the funniest out of all of them.
Oh, for sure.
Like not even close. Like I would even put Kim, the sister, like maybe like right below Marlon. Keenan's an excellent writer, and Keenan put on the whole family. Shout out. Plus he's
got him on his shoulders.
Plus he's the same fraternity as mine. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about that though. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. So
what's good, everybody? To listen to any of our past shows, go to www.manlistenshow.com. And if you want to add right here in the show, you can do the same thing.
I don't know. Let's get off Marlon. That's enough about him. But Marlon, you were very disappointed in my brother and any other.
Right.
Stuff. And my thing is like, when these celebrities get out here and they make their money, right? And you know how we talk about, hey, listen, we love it when Black ADOS celebrities give back to the community. The boy Jaylen Brown played for the Boston Celtics, got the biggest contract ever in the NBA. And when he got onto the podium, they asked him what he's going to do with his money. Some people had a problem with that question. I didn't. But he talked about, hey, listen, I want to start Black Wall Street in Boston. Now, we talked about it before. Boston is what? The white man's Atlanta. And even though it's Democratic state, it's one of the most racist cities you will ever be in. So I really kind of hated that the brother predicted, or he not only chose there, but there's Black people there, but telegraphed what he was going to do, because obviously, they're going to try to
push back,
because they don't like when we use our wealth to bring ourselves up. But I don't feel that every Black celebrity has to be a LeBron or a Jaylen Brown. I think it'd be nice if they all did. I mean, we don't need any more Tina Turners. We don't need no more Tina Turners or anything like that. Go listen to that past episode. But if you don't feel like you need to give money to the community, right? Because it's your money. Me and C say this all the time. Just be quiet. Don't hurt us. So when you say this stuff like this, Marlon, that may be how you feel. But guess what? You don't see a whole lot of white folks doing that.
No.
I've seen some kind of making fun of the people that got jumped on this situation. But when it comes to something serious, they know how to be quiet.
I don't know. I was disappointed, not just at the celebrities, but just the random commentary, because I thought for once we were in unity over this new Black national holiday that we have created for ourselves.
Think of the Negro.
Listen, and then I saw a video where a woman said they had just had like a movement where they honored the ancestors at that spot that morning, and then for them to like further honor the ancestors by protecting one of our elderly men in a situation that was completely ridiculous. I thought that was poetic. But to see people talking about I saw a post that was like, what did it say? Black men still are the number one cause of gun violence towards Black men, and Black women are still the number one victims of violence from Black men. And people were like, can we just have one day? Can we just have one day where you don't go spewing all of the basically myths that these white people have put out into the world? Black people don't own all the crimes. Everybody's crime rate is higher within their own race because we interact with each other more. So the number one, abuser of white women is white men. the number one killer of white men is white men. Like that's a thing. So they keep making it seem like it's black on black crime. That's why whenever I'm out and about and I see white people fighting, I'd be like, look at that white on white crime.
I'm like, where's the parents? Where's the fathers? You know, yeah, I do.
You know how drunk they be getting their weddings. We saw these this wedding party and this dude got laid out. I was like, the white on white crime is out of control in this country.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this was a brilliant example, a brilliant display of solidarity, us standing up for one another. It's unfortunate that we don't see a lot of this. It isn't highlighted, because I'm sure it happens. And one more thing I want to point out before we wrap it up. You notice how, like, you know, white folks that we suspect are racist like this, you notice how they never, ever pick somebody that they know is going to really put it on them. They always going after like a kid or somebody elderly. They always trying to take like an easy mark. They never really go after somebody that they know is going to really put it on them. You know, you peep that out?
Oh yeah, I noticed that people pick and choose who they have attitudes with. I say that about people all the time because I think I have a reputation for making. I mean, you know, you come at me, you getting everything that you came for. So people don't really come at me. But then I see you coming at somebody else with some ferocity over something lesser than something I may have done or said, and I'd be like, see, I don't respect that. And I think that's their MO. They gonna always go for somebody that they think is an easy target or is going to be you know, out there alone and basically unsupported.
Yeah, that's what they've always done. That's what they've always done. And I think that even though allegedly we're only 13% of this country, we've shown that when we stand together, we are strong, and then we can repel those who try to harm us in the community. Now I just need this type of energy, this type of work, you know, at Zimmerman. That's what I need.
I'm not gonna let that go.
I ain't gonna let that one go.
So
I can't let the Zimmerman thing go. I can't let it go. I can't.
That man has to be in hiding. He cannot just be out randomly drinking and pissing off the wrong black person and still walking away. I just cannot believe.
You know, somebody tried to shoot him down, and they didn't finish the job. They ended up doing some time. You know,
I remember.
He's definitely in hot. He definitely ain't just out here willy-nilly. And if
I'm gonna need him to be in a hole like they say Bin Laden was. Fuck down.
Yeah, and if he is, he's definitely, you know, like he's in the same type of town that white wench that got Emmett Till killed.
Yeah.
Same type of center as that, where like she can kind of be out and be safe because nobody's gonna really try to harm her in the situation that she's in. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. But yeah, we need that same type of energy. But anyway, I think we talked about it enough. Make sure you go to our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube. Click that bell icon to get notified of our episodes coming up. Go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. Listen to our old episodes and tell everybody about the Blackest Radio Show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. We'll holler you next time. Peace.
Shout out to See You Laugh.
Shout out to See You Laugh.